All right, when you hear Stanford and Cal Berkeley, you're probably thinking, Nobel Prizes, Silicon Valley, that kind of thing. But what if I told you their biggest, their fiercest rivalry wasn't about academics at all? Nope, it was a 100-year prank war. We're talking tear gas, fake cops, and high-speed car chases.
And the prize for all this chaos? The grand objective? Get this. It was, and I quote, to steal a giant, historically useless axe. Yeah, you heard that right. This is where it all starts. With a completely worthless object that somehow became the most stolen, most sought-after trophy in the history of college sports. Right, so let's get this straight. When you picture a championship trophy, you're thinking something shiny, right? Gold, maybe some silver. Not this time. The grand prize for the biggest game of the year between these two schools is a simple 15-inch lumberman's axe. It's not worth a dime intrinsically, but oh man, the story behind it, that's priceless. And all of this insanity revolves around one single event, the big game. Now, on paper, it's the yearly football showdown between these two academic giants. But let's be real. For more than a century, the real fight wasn't just happening on the gridiron. It was all about who got to possess this ridiculously plain, simple axe. And here's the kicker. The axe was never even supposed to be a trophy. The whole thing started as a total accident. It was just a prop for a stunt that accidentally kicked off one of the most epic, unplanned heists you've ever heard of. Okay, so picture this. April 1899. Stanford students bring this axe to a baseball game, and they use it to chop the head off of a straw man dressed in Cal's colors. Classic rivalry stuff. But then, Stanford loses the game. Whoops. In the chaos that followed, some Cal students see their opening. They snatch the axe, and they are gone. What happens next is a full-on chase scene through the streets of San Francisco. I mean, we're talking students jumping on and off moving cable cars to escape. Eventually, they get it back to Berkeley and lock it away in a bank vault. And that's where it stayed, for 31 years. Just let that sink in. For 3 entire decades, this axe wasn't some friendly trophy passed back and forth. It was stolen goods. It was a constant reminder that Cal had won that street fight. You can just imagine an entire generation of Stanford students just seething. So fast forward to 1930. Stanford has had it. They're done. A secret group of 21 students, who would become legends known as the Immortal 21, decide it's time. They're going to get their property back. And this wasn't going to be some simple smash and grab. Oh no. This was a full-blown military-style operation. Their plan? Absolutely brilliant. Step 1, the setup. They disguised themselves as reporters and photographers to get right up close. Step 2, the ambush. Right when the axe is being moved, they set off smoke bombs and tear gas. Pure chaos. And the getaway, it's straight out of a movie. They snatch the axe and use a bunch of decoy cars to send everyone, Cal students, the actual cops, on a massive wild goose chase. Just masterful. So when the axe finally made it back to the Stanford campus, the party was so huge, so out of control, that the university literally had to cancel all classes. For 2 days. Think about that. This thing was way more than just a prop now. It was a sacred object. Well, eventually, the grown-ups in the room had to step in. They kind of figured, hey, maybe the tear gas and police chases are a little much for a college rivalry. So in 1933, the two schools signed this official truce to try and calm things down. And of course, it failed miserably. And you gotta love the irony here. The official rule was super simple. Whoever wins the big game gets the axe for the year. But the unofficial rule, the one the students actually lived by, even simpler. Just steal it. Steal it any chance you get. So yeah, the truce didn't stop a thing. It just made the heists get smarter, more creative. It became a game of cunning, not just chaos. Like in 1946, Cal students just had a fake key made and waltzed right in. Then, not to be outdone, in 54, some Stanford guys invent a fake axe security committee, walk right up to the guards at Cal, and just take it. The sheer nerve. But believe it or not, all of that was just the opening act. Because what came next was the single greatest heist in the entire history of the axe. This one wasn't about brute force or smoke bombs. Nope. This was about pure psychological genius. This was the ultimate con job. So just think about it. How do you top a military-grade operation with tear gas and decoy cars? Where do we even go from there? How do you one-up that? The answer is it's so simple, it's beautiful. You don't fight the police,
You pretend to be the police. And the attention to detail here, it's just unreal. We're not talking cheap Halloween costumes. They had legit-looking police uniforms, fake badges, holsters, the whole shebang. They even painted a sedan to look like a police car. They strolled up to the guards at Cal, told them there was a credible threat against the axe, and offered to take it somewhere safe for them. And the Cal guards, trying to be helpful, they just handed it over, no questions asked. By the time anybody figured out what had just happened, that fake cop car and the precious axe were already halfway across the Bay Bridge, heading back to Stanford. It was a perfect, flawless con. So why does any of this matter? Why do two of the most prestigious universities in the world, home to Nobel laureates and tech billionaires, care so deeply about a beat-up old lumberjack axe? Well, it's because it was never really just about the axe, was it? These days, the axe is mounted on this big plaque, and on that plaque are the scores of every single big game that's ever been played. It's like a living history book of their rivalry. It's not just a piece of metal anymore. It's a symbol of this century-long shared story of trying to outsmart each other. So now, when you see the winning team rush the field after the big game, you don't know they're not just celebrating a football win. No, they're part of something much, much bigger. They are carrying on a tradition that's been going for over 100 years. As the saying goes, they are taking their turn as the latest owners of the most stolen trophy in history.